Today, we're going to talk about some swaps that might save you time and money. And what about lint rolling the cat so you don't have to lint roll everything else? That's my aunt's little secret save time thing. But let's get to the video and we'll talk about some real useful ones. However, this one's pretty useful. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. I have frugal videos all year round and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. Now I started something because he's actually up here and he's been reaching over, wanting me to do this because it's the same as being petted. So, yeah, Aunt Carol, this really works. Welcome everyone to the channel. If you're new, I'm Bonita and we talk about frugal living a lot on this channel. We talk about early retirement. We talk about ways to save money in our everyday lives. And so today I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I reuse and I do to save money and to keep from writing things on my shopping list. One of the first things I want to tell you about is these little covers that you can get at Dollar Tree for $1.25. Keep this in your microwave and you can use it instead of a paper towel. It's washable and it will save you from having to put paper towels over the stuff that you're microwaving. So what a great deal is that? I love using reusable things. I love using things that keep me from using disposable products. I don't buy paper towels, and so sometimes my microwave will get messy, but now it won't. And if you have kids or family that forget to cover things with a paper towel in your microwave, keeping this in there will be a constant reminder because they have to literally lift it up to put their food in there. So they might as well just cover it back up with that. So I thought that was a great reusable swap. My mother used to fry bacon on the stove and she would lay out two pieces of bread and then she would put the bacon on top of there to drain. We didn't have paper towels growing up in our house, and that's something that has become normal over my lifetime, even, but it was not normal then. And then we would get the bacon off of the bread and she would toast the bread and she would eat it. I used to feel sorry for her because she got the bread with the bacon grease that had dripped on it. And then I thought when I got to be an adult, my gosh, that was brilliant. She got the flavor of the bacon in the bread. She got the best pieces. And if you have friends who have a dog and maybe that dog chases tennis balls, ask them to save you the mesh bag if they buy them in mesh bags, because this works as a great delicates bag. Right now, I'm getting ready to wash a couple of hand splints that will keep the Velcro from sticking to other stuff in the wash. I also use it to wash my hairbrush, my combs, and I know they sell these mesh bags at the Dollar Tree, but I've never had to buy one because I have a tennis ball bag. And then these braces are from my kids from high school sports. I have braces for every part of the anatomy that could use a brace. So right now in my 50s, when I have arthritis and other issues, I am just using what I have. I had to go to the doctor the other day, and he gave me this newfangled brace to put on my ankle because my feet are losing a lot of their muscle and ligament strength due to neuropathy. And the only difference between this one and the one I already had from high school from my son was this one has their logo on it. Yeah, and this one was $165. But actually, I knew I had this already, but I need one on both feet. So that worked out great. I bought one less because I still kept them from when my kids were in high school sports. So sometimes those things from your kids, if you're empty nesters, hang on to them because some of that stuff is pricey now and it comes in handy. And speaking of things that were left here from your kids, if you're an empty nester, I pulled out 3-ring binders the other day because I needed them to organize the stuff for my brother who's in the nursing home. So I organized some of his bills, some of his bank statements, and I didn't have to purchase any office supplies to do it. I also had some of these dividers left that are plastic, not paper, and I make little markers for my garden. I just cut them, stick them in the dirt, and use them. And this one is from this year. This one is from last year. You can see it's a little faded, but your marking pen needs to be black permanent marker, and sometimes it will fade. And then you can just write on it something else the next year. They are totally washable, totally reusable. And I have all kinds of colors of these, and it makes a bunch of them, just one of these. So if you have some of those office supplies still laying around, some of that stuff can come in really handy, and you don't have to buy anything special for your garden to mark your plants. Heck, when I was a kid, my dad would just take these packets when they were empty, tear out the bottom, open it up, and stick it over a stick and just stick it at the end of his row. Now, these won't last forever because they're paper, but they would usually last long enough for the stuff to start coming up so he could tell what it was, and then you could throw away if they had started to fall apart or disintegrate. But you don't even have to have one of these to be able to mark your garden rows. Buying things for our home office or the place where we pay bills in our house can sometimes get expensive. And I just reuse things that I already have. These are 2 little hard plastic canisters that the ink for my printer came in. One of them I have push pins, one of them I have paper clips. It fits perfectly down in my drawer of my desk, and it doesn't tip over easily, and I can grab those very easily without having to have one of those holders on top of my desk with paper clips and push pins, because that might not work so great with having cats around. But this way they're tucked away, no one's going to mess with them or spill them because they're inside my drawer in a hard plastic container that sits flat. I also have this mop head on a handle, and it is rewashable. It's a little dirty right now. I have a second one. But I noticed the other day at Dollar Tree that they have handles with screw tops that will fit almost anything. And then you can unscrew them, and they have things like a squeegee or a mop or something like this that you can put and just use one handle and change out the top and have any type of cleaning product that you need. But I already have these, and this is a thick, heavy pad. I've had this for years. I'm so happy that I thought ahead to buy a second pad for it because I don't even know if they make these anymore. But this has been wonderful. I'm not going to buy those disposable throwaway, we're not going to name the name of them, right? I'm not going to buy those to put on the bottom of something like this that I can just toss in the wash. So if you don't have something like this, maybe check out Dollar Tree because they do have a lot of really easy washable attachments that you can hook on to the handle that they also sell there. I'm not sure if they're still $1.25 or not, but you'll save money in the long run rather than buying all of the different items that you need. And this can't be a reusable video without me bringing up the solar bulbs. I love my solar bulbs. We use the heck out of these. We used to keep a light on over the sink in the kitchen all evening long. And we would use that because we have to go through the kitchen to get to the back porch to go to the bathroom. But once I started getting these, I could hang this over the sink and I could keep that light shut off. And these are in my description box. I've had them there for years. These are probably 4 years old, but I also picked up some of these the other day at Dollar Tree because these little cheap solar bulbs had died out, and I took the little stem off of it that you would put it in the dirt, and then I just use it in a vase that I have with some of those glass beads, and I put it in the window, and then I just shove this down in there, and when it lights up in the evening, it glows in those glass beads. It's so pretty, and I just keep that in my office to have a little bit of light throughout the house. And I have several of these that I have on my plant stand. They gather light during the day, and then at night they light up, and then this room has light that I'm not having to pay for, so we can see to get through the house easily. And they just have such a nice ambiance to have these lit up in the evening. I really enjoy them. There's other little trivial things that I save, but they help me tremendously. One of the things I save are these larger pill bottles. So I don't usually save the little ones. I know other people do, but I have put my Splenda in here. So when I am traveling, like for the weekend to my mother-in-law's, I have it with me for my coffee. You can also put jewelry in here if you're traveling. I've had viewers tell me that they take the little ones and they put seeds in there. There's so many uses for some of these things. So before you toss these in the trash, think about what you can put in here to make your life a little easier, because these things really do come in handy. And then I just write on them what's in the container. Like this has my stevia in it, so I wrote on the container so somebody doesn't think, what the heck is this in here? And then I save all kinds of little twisties and bread clips. I save all of these. I even save these that come from like those crock pot bags that go in there. I save all these little twisties. I keep them in a bag that came from my pharmacy. So I have them all handy, and I just keep them in a kitchen drawer. And when I get more, I just put them in here. But I use the heck out of these things. I use them to hang Christmas lights on my wire fence. These little snaps work great for that. I have used the wire twisties to hang like lights over my picnic table for picnics in case it runs into the evening. I've used coat hangers that are wire to fix fence. I mean, stuff like this comes in handy, and we might be surprised to see about how often we really do reach for one of these things, because we think we need certain things to do something. And there's so many times I'm getting ready to do something and I just need a little bit of something to hold something together. And this is what I reach for, and it is invaluable. I love this little bag of these things. So don't discount the silliness of saving a few of these little items. You'll be surprised how often you reach for them and how they keep you from buying something else that this will take the place of. What do you keep and what do you use for easy swaps in your house? I bet you have some that I didn't think of today, and I would love to read about them. These comments help everybody that views this channel, and so many of you have such great ideas. Please feel free to share below. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.